Pluto also reveals, um, like I said earlier, things we have to work on alone. And not because, again, not because we're lonely, although people give into that. So the lessons we have to learn through all this stuff so far up to Leo is, well, throughout the whole zodiac, is that Pluto, we have to embrace our shadow. That's the whole key thing. I'm going to go straight into Virgo though. So Virgo, Pluto and Virgo people, that's like after my parents. Um, they find work important. But the thing is, sometimes when people are not in touch with their Pluto side, their shadow, what happens is there's this intensity that they bring forth. I used to do this a lot, where you just push things and push things and push things so much. There's so much intensity that it basically drains you. It becomes this toxic thing. It becomes, you have a toxic relationship with yourself. You become toxic at work. You become toxic within your family, your own sense of security. And going back to Aries, it's kind of like you don't want that toxicity. Otherwise, Pluto is telling you, well, you're misusing that energy, right? So Virgo in this case is work, right? Habits, routines, things we do every day, practicality. Also, some people who have Pluto in Virgo would probably be overly concerned with perfection, pedanticalness, like getting things right, health itself. It's kind of there's a similarity between that and Cancer and also probably Scorpio because they're earth and water, right? About feeling secure, feeling like protected, feeling like I just need to get this right. I just need to, cleanliness is also part of that. It kind of pushes that sort of, there's intensity towards cleanliness and all that stuff. So then we go into Libra. It's similar to Virgo, but Libra is more about genuine relationships, genuine harmony, genuine peace, and sometimes at the expense of itself. I used to think that I just wanted peace, period, but really what I should have known was I was growing to learn. Was Pluto was teaching me slowly and slowly and slowly that it continues to do today. That my inner Pluto and my inner psyche is always considers it's always it's relationships about always teaching you to. Really, like most people with Pluto and Libra, they might feel lonely, but they usually feel alone because they have to work that relationship with themselves. Right? Now, after that, Pluto, of course, is right at home in Scorpio. So Pluto right in Scorpio knows about power. They feel very much at home with power. They feel comfortable. They know how to use power. They know how to usually work with that. But sometimes people who have, if they look at their charts and they have negative placements, or people who just basically have life like that. Sorry, I'm just wondering if there's mosquito banging. Sometimes it can become too much, especially if there's a negative placement. But it's not because of the chart, because of the soul contract, because of the choices we've made getting into this life, choosing this life, this form. I learned that, being on Earth, when you come to Earth, Dolores Cannon said that you have to go through many things until you actually learn it. So the lesson isn't learning, right? That's why you've heard it. I don't know, for some of you may have heard that the lessons keep repeating themselves until we learn it. The reasons why we keep getting lessons, little things like people and how to talk to each other and people that come into our lives that come and go, the things we do at work, things we do with our careers, things we do with money, any relation, food we eat, all that stuff, our health, our thoughts, our everything, every aspect of everything, every notion. Okay, so the soul contracting we chose to do when it comes to being here means that we get to choose. It's all free will. You get to choose. You are not a slave to your chart. You are not a slave to anything. Right? You're not a victim of anything. That's the thing that Pluto will teach you. It's like, earn your inner power. So going to Scorpio, it's all about transformation. It knows how to work that. But again, even with the challenges of power, loss of power, the death of power. You learn how to work with that what is real inner power. That's for Scorpio, Plutonian Scorpios. They know how to work. They can learn how to work with this, especially if they're allowed themselves to do so. Okay, going to Sagittarius, it's all about working things on by yourself when it comes to not just adventure, not just long distance travel, but also philosophy, your own personal beliefs, your own optimism. What is that? Is it optimism that's given to you? Is it optimism that you find within yourself? What is optimism? What is growth? What is that expansion? What is that sort of the Jupiterian thing? What is that? Right? Like we have to learn how to figure out what is education, what is intellect, what is beliefs, what is all that stuff, right? So we have to learn how to deal with that, and Pluto will really teach us that, especially when we don't listen. Yeah. Right? Pluto rules, like I said, Pluto rules the shit, the crap that's in our lives, and it's part of that. It's like we have to go through that. You have to die before we live, and that's what Pluto is. That's its motto: dying before you live, or rather, dying as you live, so that way you really live. That's what Pluto teaches. Then going to Capricorn. Pluto in Capricorn is where we discover our own uniqueness with our own, how we work through things, what is real discipline, what is hard work, what are limitations really. It's a really hard placement actually, because it's when I say hard, I don't mean like, again, it's all about blessing. You have to find the good in everything. You have to find, even with all that shit that's happening. Pluto in Capricorn wants to tell us that the limitations are always there to make us more powerful, because sometimes maybe the soul contract we chose to go into is like, before we didn't learn how to create limits for ourselves. There's a limit for boundaries. There's a limit for conservation. There's a reason for that. There's a limit of limits. So that means that in this case, maybe it'll just it'll turn itself upside down and say, maybe those limits might be that, it's about timing as well, right? So ruled by Saturn, Capricorn, it's traditions, it's the old stuff. So in any case, I have to keep going. So we go into Pluto, then the last two. Pluto in Aquarius is all about the society. Pluto, we're going into that right now actually. We're heading towards Pluto in Aquarius. So people who will be born at this time, especially if they're Aquarians, will have that Sun Pluto. Well, they're start to learn, and for decades, the Pluto will reveal that to them and say, what is inspiration? What is aspiration? What is that societal stuff? What is community? What is real hope? What is real change? What is real connections with society? What is the collective, right? Where Leo was more about where is your own inner child. This is more like your outer child. How do you work towards that uniqueness, that creativity and innovation towards society? What is that? So in this case, this like similarly to like Libra, even probably Gemini, any other of those, like even Taurus. What is relationship? What is real relationship with others, right? And Pluto will reveal that. It will kill you. It will just like, and you have to really learn how to do that, because dying is not. Even I had to learn this, that it's like the fear that I go through every day going out there, there's still the virus out there, this is a Pluto's thing, there's still COVID out there. But I'm like, I can't sit around doing nothing. I can't sit around. It's not about doing nothing. It's about taking timely action, guided action. This is what my Plutonian journey has taught me to just go with it, trust it, die in the fear. and it's okay. Just go. So it becomes fear becomes a sort of faith takes over and says, no, fear is okay. I hear you. Got it. Great. Good. And then you just keep going. So, and then it goes into Pisces, of course. Some countries have this, particularly the Netherlands. This is why I love the Netherlands. Pluto was in Pisces with the Netherlands. Sun actually conjunct Pluto. It's Plutonian. I guess you can say Plutonian nation. And Pluto in Pisces is idealism, right? What does that mean? So Pluto grounds Pisces in this case, because Pisces is very idealistic. It's kind of out there, imaginative. It's all about escapism. It's all about all that alcohol, drugs, music. This is, if you look at the typical like hippie, more than even Libra, it's like that whole like, oh, just let go, let go, let go. No, Pluto says, well, what do you need to let go? Are you sure? What about your inner power? What about that sort of, what about genuineness? What about, is it really that? What is it? So we have to listen to the shit when we're looking. That's why people who, if you work through your Pluto, you have an appreciation for shit, literally and figuratively. You have an appreciation that it benefits you in a very healthy way. And it's like, oh, okay, there's shit. Okay, I love shit. Love shit. Love manure in my life. It's taboo. I love, it's a respect. It's not, I'm just going to go like, oh, like you if you don't accept it. That's not what genuineness is. That's not what Pluto is going to teach you. Pluto is going to teach you to reveal what is that? Because that's pride. You know what? Pride. You want love out of that. Love is all encompassing. Love is everywhere. Love is a solution. This is why we're doing this. This is why I have these videos. Anyways, I hope that helps. That's Pluto. So in any case, I hope you like that. If you have any comments, if you want to share your own placements in your own chart, if you find it. If you don't know how to find your own chart, go to astro.com. Just you don't have to know your date of birth. Time of birth is very important. And of course your city or town or whatever place of birth. And then you can always share that here. No problem. In any case, thank you.